So this is attempt number 1 at putting some little binder, the little Tim Holtz 2-ring binder doodah inside this binder. It fits perfectly. Shannon Green figured out that it fit perfectly. She suggested that I use E6000, which of course I didn't take her advice immediately, and I tried this instead. I just happen to have it on hand, and I don't know if it's gonna work. It's been like this for quite a while, and it is drying finally, but I can't really tell if it's gonna stick well enough. I don't know, it may, and it does have the clamps are covering it up, but it does have 2 little holes that I could sew somehow, I don't sew, but somehow or another, maybe attach it to this back part, the spine, I don't know. This is why I bought 2 of these at $1.95 a piece, because I figured I would screw up the first one. I do have some E6000, but it came in the little kit that we got with my giant schnauzer that passed away last August. It came with her urn that we got to put her ashes in, and this is to seal the thingy, the plug in the urn. So I didn't really want to open this, but if I have to use it for this, I'll go ahead and put her, well, I'll get my husband and we'll put her ashes in the urn, which we just have been lazy about doing so far. So I may end up using this after all, or maybe on the second one if this doesn't do. But I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit longer and see what happens. Okay, this is actually sticking pretty well, but I still want to reinforce it a little bit just because it's going to get a lot of wear and tear, I think. So I was looking around at some things that I have that I'm going to try. I've looked at these. I got a bag of these things at a garage sale. I have no clue what they are, but they're a little too big to fit on this. So I'm going to dig through some of these buttons. I think there's some smaller ones in here, and I have this that I've never opened. It's some kind of super strong filament something. And I have this that I've never used. So I am going to see what happens. That may be too big, huh? That's kind of fatter than I thought. I may have to find a regular needle. Okay, I'm going to play with this a little bit, and I will let you know what I come up with. Hey, check it out. I sewed on purpose. It's not pretty, but maybe it'll be functional. I found it much easier to actually use this needle. So I used this one on the second button, and I used this one on the first one. And I've just sewed a couple of little buttons on there. I'm hoping my husband does not watch this video, because I make him sew my buttons on my pants or whatever when they fall off, because I don't really know how to do it. But if he sees this, maybe he'll see what a mess it is and not try to make me do it. Okay, I'll be back with the next step. Okay. Hey, I wanted to show you my finished little binder. So this is the little binder vinyl pouch thing I got from American Science and Surplus for $1.95. I'm going to show you how I've done this. I can edit this later. Okay, so here is the inside. All right, so in this first pocket, I've got a bunch of different pens. I've got some of my new erasable pens that I got from Jet Pens, well, actually I ordered these from Amazon, and they're the Friction Pilot friction pens. So those fit perfectly in this little pocket, and in this little pocket behind here I have these big wheels, which go with one of my different Spirograph or spiral doodle tools, and I'll show you how those work in just a second. And then I ended up gluing in one of these Tim Holtz 2-ring binder things with some adhesive sealant. That's not the prettiest, but you know, this is the first time I've ever attempted to do something like this, so it was an experiment. And then I ended up sewing these little buttons on just to give it a little bit more of a reinforcement there. Again, not pretty. I'm not a sewer. I'm not a seamstress. But then I put some little paper in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my Spirograph references that I've made with all of the different patterns that I can make with my Spirograph, and I think I'm going to scan these in and then shrink them down and print them out, because these are too big to really go in this pouch, this vinyl pouch. So that's what I'm going to use this for. And then I'll always have my patterns with me, even though I kind of just wing it anyway. I don't really pay too much attention to that, but it'll be nice to have with me. And then on this, in this little pocket that has a zipper, I've got all my little Spirograph wheels, and they fit just perfectly. And then this is a little snap pocket, and it fits my smaller spiral doodle tool and my 2 big standard Spirograph rings. And so it's perfect. The only thing that doesn't fit really, really well are these 2 pieces. This is the outside of this spiral doodle tool that I'll show you in just a second. And this is my circle template that I take with me wherever I go. And this is such a great tool because, can you see? Because you can use it to draw any of your little smaller circles. And then it also swivels or rotates so you can make bigger circles, and your lines are perfectly distanced. And I also use the outside of it just to make my biggest possible circles. So that's how I do a lot of my patterns. And then this tool is really cool, and it's actually easier to use than a Spirograph. A Spirograph, to me, it just takes a little more practice. But this is a really cool tool, and I have the smaller version and the larger version. And just to show you kind of how it does, it stays in the grooves a little easier and doesn't jump the tracks like the Spirograph tends to do sometimes if you don't have it just right. And this is my favorite pattern to do with this tool. It makes what looks to me like a nautilus shell. I don't complete the whole pattern. I just kind of stop it about there. And then you have what looks like a nautilus shell. And these do fit in this little pouch. It just doesn't zip up quite as easily, but it does zip without straining the zipper. And it still squishes down pretty nicely. And so I think, yeah, for $1.95, that's a pretty darn good deal, and will fit in my bag just perfectly and take up a lot less space than what I've been carrying these around with. So yeah, that's it. Check it out. American Science and Surplus.